Let me start. Okay, so I think we are. Yep, we're live on YouTube. I see a kill on there. Okay, so now share my screen. Screen 2. Please, Venetia joins. No, she likes it when I have the English subtitles. So let me see if I can add that too. English, easy English. There we go. Although we don't know how good this is going to be, because I said, there we go. And it said, there we go. I think my laptop may be more ghetto than me. Huh. There we go. Oh, what time is it? 10:32. I guess I should give them 3. I give people 3 more minutes. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to set the stage for today. Today is going to be awesome. And we're going to talk about topics that I haven't talked about before. If you did not have an opportunity to get the handout, the exercise that goes along with today, put your email in the chat and Vanita will email you the handout that goes along with this that may make it easier for you to follow. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're going to be very timely today. I have 1 hour to discuss the universe with you. And come hell or high water at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, we will be done. So through all of this, I am directly connected to spirit and we're going to be rolling. So if you got a pen, you may want to grab it. If you have questions, you may want to pop it in the chat and we see how much time we have left after. Okay. Time 10:34. So one thing I am happy to say is while we wait this one last minute, if you have the ability to look at multiple things on your computer or on your phone, our website is up. It's always going to be like a living document, but it is up, and that is www.willpowerlightworker.com. willpowerlightworker.com. When you go there, you will be able to sign up for the global meditation that's happening for the first time next week, next Sunday, 7 days from now, when we are going to light it up. Oh, let me do one thing. Favorite spotlight for everyone. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, Devansh, what's up? Kevin, what's up? Mary, you like my cup, Mary? It's a good cup. It's a good cup. All right. I just want to pause for a second because I'm so nervous. I'm so rarely get nervous that it feels kind of cool to be a little nervous. All right, enough of that. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, and I have given it like maybe 3 different titles over the course of 2 weeks, but it's always meant and intended to be on the same topic, something called Merkaba. Merkaba, right? How to activate your halo. When you come from different cultures, people call things different things. You hear chakras, you hear halos, you hear Merkaba, okay? So I'm going to really break it down today about what is the Merkaba, what is the halo. If you're sad, we're going to talk about how to make you happy. If you want to spread happiness, we're going to talk about that. And today in meditation, what spirits spoke to me and told me to tell everyone is that we have to work on our light capacity. Those were the exact words that were said to me. Light capacity, our ability to take on and absorb more light, our ability to expand light, our ability to multiply the light. So there's a lot of different topics that we're going to discuss today. And depending on where you are, it's going to be all about how do you expand your capacity for light. So for my really spiritual people, I'm going to put it this way. For my really spiritual people, I'm going to teach you how to activate your Merkaba so you can astro project. For my lightly spiritual people, I'm going to teach you how to engage all 7 chakras plus 5 more. And for my my baby gurus out there, for my newbies, I'm going to show you how to look pretty and be happy. So that's what's up. So let's jump in. So from an official standpoint, like I said, I'm so pumped about our initiative that we launched last month, which is just pretty simple. How can we add more light to the world? And through a global meditation, something that happens the first Sunday of every month, starting this upcoming month. So June 6th is the first time that we're going to have a global meditation. I mean, we got peeps on here from the West, from the East. I'm talking as far as Bali to India to England. I think Ghana's representing in the house to all the way over to good USA. So this thing that we have, this light, we're all light workers. So what happens when you take a group of people who are already meditating and you're able to get them to connect, to meditate for a single reason? Can we raise the vibration of the planet? Do we see crime lower? Do we see that the planet Earth, Mother Earth, start healing? All these things we are going to figure out, okay? So, sorry, I was trying to let my brother Shubham in and accidentally stopped the sharing. Okay, but we're back. So June 6th is when all this goes down for 1 hour. 1 hour can change the world. You pick a time that you want to meditate, and whatever time you meditate on that day, you're able to go to the website, plug and subscribe. More information is going to come to you on the link to the guided meditation, which will be on YouTube, just like we're on YouTube right now, all connected through a common mantra. We believe in light. Light is energy. We are light. We are one. So with that, okay, now what I'm going to do is hop in and let's talk about something that for some of you may be basic, but for others, it may be advanced. Chakras. Chakra 101, okay? So this picture of chakras, we're really going to break it down. It's not going to be this complex. This looks like you got a PhD in spirituality. Okay. So let's clearly define what chakras are and what they aren't. And by the way, for those of you who you like chakras, I know chakras. I knew about chakras ever since I was 2. One of the things I found out is that there are some gaps in like the highly spiritual people, like the ones that have been spiritual ever since God made dirt. You know, they just know everything, all the fancy terms and stuff. That every now and then there are some gaps in the things that they know. So to make sure that we're all together, I just want to kind of sashay and just flow right on through this, just to make sure we're on the same page. So that when I get to the advanced topics, there ain't no half stepping. All right, so here we go. So if I had to describe chakras to somebody who didn't know it, it's kind of like a network of spiritual energy that is layered throughout our body. And at 7 particular points within your body, the energy layers overlap. So it's not like, oh, this is my throat chakra. It's right here. Let me squeeze it, because it's just weaving. So I kind of thought of it like a heartbeat and a blood vessel all at the same time. I know that sounds crazy, but if you can mix that all together in a bag, shake it up and go, ta-da, a chakra will fall out. So just like your heart can beat too fast or too slow, too much of something or too little of something can jack up your chakras. Boom. Too much of something or too little will jack it up. And then bad things will happen. Just like your veins, your arteries can get clogged. Well, the same thing can happen with your chakras, and they start taking this funky shape, because contrary to popular belief, it's not a circle. It's not like it's a funnel. It looks more like a funnel spinning around. So the chakra is a network within your spiritual body. And most people know about the 7 chakras that you see right here, but there are so much more. So I am going to just talk out, just to make sure we're on the same page, the things that are most known. And then I'm going to end with things that aren't most known. Now, if you know the things that aren't most known, oh, I knew that. You have to literally be a know-it-all and put that in the chat, because that'll make me feel good that you knew some of the things that I say were most not known, but you knew it. That's cool. Okay. All right, so most know about the 7 chakras, but also most know each chakra is related to a color. So as you see down here, you can heal your chakras through colors. Colorology is a topic that we spoke about before. Some people try to dress to look cute. Other people dress to be effective. When I speak, like right now, I got on light blue because it goes to the throat chakra and communication. All right, something else. Most know each chakra is related to a sound. So all of these have a tune that you can listen to, and that also can help you. So you have those people. I don't have anyone in here. It's in my meditation room, but you have people to do the sound healings and all of that. Well, that's helping your chakras. It's feeding this, getting it aligned, because it looks funky, and then you get it all put back together. Okay, next one. Most know chakra is related to physical, mental, emotional aspects of you. So if your chakras are off, it can eventually manifest to a physical problem or a mental problem. You stir crazy. It could be emotional. You're just sensitive Sue. I hope we don't have anybody on here named Sue. If so, I wasn't talking about you, Sue. That was just Sue in general. And just across the board, it can have a big impact. Trying to let Rossi in. Okay. I'm going to be a good boy this time and just let Kiasia or Vanita let people in. All right, number 5. And for some reason, Mercury retrograde is going on, and I tried literally 5 times to make a 5 appear, but the 5 wouldn't come. I'm like, is it peeking behind the graph? Why is there no 5? There's a 6. 6 comes up, but there's no 5. It's like, what's that Jamie Foxx song? Blame it on alcohol. Now I'm like, blame it on the retrograde. That's what's up. Okay. So number 5, most don't know chakras aren't flat, but it has like a funnel shape. Wide at the end as it goes out, and then both sides, depending on which chakra. Okay. And most don't. Okay, now we get to something that people don't know. So if you know this, all right. So Mary, give me a head nod if you know this. All right. Most don't know chakras can become warped and causes dis-ease. So you just feel uncomfortable. It's like something in my spirit just doesn't feel right. And after a while, if you don't get it fixed, it manifests. You have somebody who's been stingy since the 6th grade. Well, guess what? They're going to probably manifest some type of physical illness that has to do with their body not having enough stuff. Show me the way someone dies, and 9 times out of 10, I can show you how they lived. Okay. Number 7, most don't know there are more than just these 7 chakras. There are a ton. There's a lot of minor ones that go through your body and different points. If you look at any of the art from, say, Alex Gray, you see that he pulls out some of these smaller chakras, but there are 5 more that we're going to go over today. And we're also going to talk about them because there's a lot of talk about people being 5th dimensional beings, and we need to get to the 5th dimension. And as a people, we need to just go ahead and just transition and all this. Like, look, if you have not opened up the chakras in your body, you surely ain't going to become a 5th dimension. And if we don't deal with the other chakras that are transpersonal, meaning outside of our body, going up, as well as subpersonal, going down even into Mother Earth, then we're in trouble. But let's first look at the 7, and then we're going to transition over to outside of these 7. So this is kind of how I would break it down, just to simplify it. If you're thinking about the chakras and say, I understand it's your crown chakra, which is at the top part of your body, the highest peak within your body is that crown. That's really saying, I understand. When you get to your 3rd eye, that's I see. When you get here to your throat chakra, that's I speak. And when you get here with the heart, then that's love. I love. And right here, I do. That's the heart of, that's your willpower. And then I feel, and then I am is your root. That's survival. So these are the 7. So as you look at it, you got to ask yourself, which one am I best at? Where's your superpower up in here? Is it connecting to spirit at the top? Is it intuition and being able to see and predict things? Is it communicator? Maybe you're a fantastic communicator. I speak. It could be I write. It could be all of that. I love. Do you have willpower? Dun, 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 dun. Where's your superpower? All right, so these are the 7. Now, you have to have all of these healthy in order for you to have the maximum capacity for life. Can somebody let Pranjo in? I'm afraid to click the admit button because I may stop sharing again. So you got to have all 7 of these rocking and rolling and healthy in order for you to have the most capacity for light. Okay, I figured it out. I just moved it around so I could let her in. Oh, there is someone else. There we go. All right, so now let's take a look at the transition outside of these 7, because within this is the keys to why some people have a halo and why other people are just way low. Okay. So here we go. So over here, I told you about the chakras when I was going through that. It wasn't like a dot or, just a circle, but it was literally like a funnel. And when these are not balanced, when you have too much of something, too much is too much, then it blocks going up. If you have too little, then the energy isn't getting pulled right, isn't getting distributed right. Okay. So all of these things are important. Hey, Pranjal, glad you made it. I'm gonna put you on mute. There we go. All right. Now, so these are the 7 chakras, but there's something else that's above you. There's something else that's below you. And to keep it simple, I'm just talking about one today, right? The Earth star that actually goes below you, that can be 3 feet, up to 3 feet underneath you. So when you hear the gurus talking about you're more than your physical self, we're more than just this, you literally are. You are. So when I look at you, when I see you, some of you, I see more than just this, but I see the light coming from you too, that goes beyond just where your body is. I think I said in one of the past meetings, when, like, say, Akil. So Akil's background in his picture, if you can see him, he has white. So whenever someone's behind a white background, I'm able to see their aura. Pranjal, before she turned her video off, it's like she had ESP. She knew I was going to say her. Pranjal, before she turned the video off, she had a light background, and I was able to see her aura too. And by the way, auras don't lie. You are what you are. If you got something going on, it comes out. So in addition to having chakras that extend past this physical frame, you also have chakras that extend out past it. So what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to take a deeper look and describe and give you a summary. So I'm going to explain at 3 different levels too, by the way, as I go through this. Because for some people, some of my peeps, they're hearing about chakras for the first time, or they heard it, or they never really understood. Wow, this affects whether I'm happy, whether I'm smart, whether I'm fast or slow, whether I'm live long or short, whether I'm sick, whether I'm mean, whether I'm lovable or hateable, whether I walk in a room and people automatically get uplifted, or whether or not people get down. All of these things, some people don't know. So I'm going to explain it, okay, in terms of super experience. And for the super experience, like Parvin is no joke. If I had a spiritual question, I would want to call and ask Parvin. She's going to be like, no, yes. So you have the advanced people, you have intermediate, and then you have the beginner. So I'm going to try to explain it at all 3 levels. So no matter what level you're at, grab what you can there. And if you have a question, then you can put it in the chat. But I'm only going to give an overview of all of these. So at least you know it exists and you know what you don't have. I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes, but we may think we're bigger than we really are, meaning that we're more advanced. And there's so much more that we can do, so much further we can go in order to build our capacity for light. So I'm going to give an overview, and then I'm going to drill down only on 2 of these areas. Okay, I'm going to drill down on the 7th and 8th chakra, the 7th and 8th. But I'm going to give an overview on all of them and tell you what it does. But we actually have an exercise to open up, to activate your crown. We have something to make it so, this thing we call a halo, so that it is super bright for you. And if you continue to do this exercise, because there's many ways to get to this path. Don't think that me saying this, you can only do it the way Will said. No, there's several different ways. A lot slower, but I chose to go over the one that's a little faster for you to get to. Like it would take you 2 weeks of going through it, but you feel an impact immediately. But we're not going to go deep into everything because there's no need of discussing PhD courses when, as humans, we're in high school for the most part. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's start off with 0, the chakra that actually goes underneath you, 3 feet below where your feet are. It's called the Earth Star. So it's the color. It's black and it can turn magenta in color too when activated. The description, of course, is 3 feet below, and its purpose is to provide us with a deeper level of grounding. I mean, it helps you to stay in the moment, and it can draw into you past. Now I'm talking ancestral memories and belief systems, because this was the seed of origin for you coming to this planet. So it's where you were first planted. So you have nature awareness. It's the grounding point of the entire chakra system. So when you're walking around, or guess what? You're walking around and you're carrying a chakra with you too. That's even below your body everywhere you go. When you're flying through the air, yep, that chakra is right there with you, flying through the air everywhere you go. So it's your personal link to Earth's life force, to the crystalline grid that's here, to the divine light contained within Earth. That's what makes you a light worker, because you're connected to Earth. So next week, when we do our first global meditation, you got a direct plug-in to help out. Now, since most people already know about the 7, I'm going to hop up to the 8 and describe the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and 12th. All right. So just for you to know, when the halo, and halo will cover like not just a little bit, but the entire like head and go out like a foot or more on both sides. When that happens, we're really looking at the combination of the 7th, the crown, right, which is right here at the top, getting engaged and sparking the 8th. So the 8th is what is really generating this halo effect. So I'm going to go through, because on the last slide, for the people who were advanced, you know about the multiple bodies, like you got the physical, the emotional, the astral. I'm going to go through this. If you never heard of that before, act like you didn't hear me say it when I go through each one. But each of these chakras that are above the 7th one are connected to the different bodies I'm going to tell you. Number 8, soul star. All right, this is connected to the etheric body. All right, the etheric body. That's the one that's like a twin version of your physical body, and it's connected to your physical body. And part of it, half of it, goes to spirit when you die, and the other half stays with your body and kind of stays with earth and decomposes. So the color of that is greenish, and the description is located for most people, your soul star. And if you're tuned in to your chakras, you can feel it, just like you can feel where your third eye is. But the soul star is located 6 to 18 inches above your head, depending on you. Everybody's different. Like mine is right here. I feel it in this area. Okay. So it is the energy center of divine love, spiritual compassion, intuition, spiritual selflessness. It's access to the Akashic records too, as well. So of all past lives, one of my good friends that some of you know, Benita Woods, she remembers all of her past lives, everyone she ever had. God bless her. There's a couple of past lives of mine I do not want to remember. That won't me. Yeah, it was. So this one, the eighth one, is also the center for shamanic healings and communications with spiritual guides. So when you have it activated, right, you have divine light that can truly be felt, and it's an experience in your awareness of your power as a divine soul. You know those people that have issues. They have they have issues with believing that they are divine, that they are God, not the God, but that we're all gods. They have issues with that because their eighth chakra hasn't kicked in. It's like a blind caveman. Okay, a blind caveman is never going to find fire. That's not going to happen. So the reason why we keep activating these chakras, some of the things that we refuse to believe, refuse to accept responsibility that we can do on our own, some people can't see that. So those who have activated the different types of chakra needs to help everyone out. That's another part of spreading the light. And I think that's another reason why this morning I got the message. We need to increase our capacity for light. So divine light can be truly felt in all of us. And your spiritualness and your power is truly recognized. When you get eight, you're like, what? Get this dirt off my shoulder? I know what I'm doing. Eight's a good feeling. So you got to ask yourself, is your eighth chakra activated? And most people are not. When they are, you see the halo. So when I look at people and it's a white background, normally I see a real thin outline around their head. And that's because their eighth chakra hasn't kicked in. If it was kicked in, it should be like whoosh. It's like a spiritual afro. JJ from Good Times, Dynamite. Okay, now we're going to go over number 9, Spirit Star. And for 8 and 7, remember, I'm going to come back. I'm going to have an exercise to kick that in. But for the rest of these, I just want to give an overview of what it is so you know what good stuff you have to look forward to. So the Spirit Star is connected to the astral body as well. The color is blue-green, and it allows you to link to the expansive realm of spirit. So like a star seed, a star child. Here, you will remember your direct connection with the divine and your ability to communicate with light beings, angels, guides, star beings, people who are talking to angels. Yeah, they got that 9 chakra thing going on. You want to talk to angels too? Da-da-da-da. We got to work on that 9th chakra, and you'll be able to do that. Even beings from other planets. I spoke about it lightly. I don't know if everybody heard, but June 1st, the USA government is coming out with information that they have seen a large number of UFOs, unidentified flying objects, things they can't explain, that break the sound barrier, but doesn't make any noise or goes super duper fast in the water, but nothing splashes up, or maybe even orbs, which I've seen at the Monroe Institute a whole lot. So there's other beings out there that vibrate at such a high frequency that you can't see. So many times we have to raise our vibrations up and they bring their vibrations down lower so that they are able to be able to communicate with us. Thanks for the shout out, Chris. Chris just sent me a message that he was watching us on YouTube. We appreciate that. So along with the realization of your expansive ability to create, you really are divine, much more powerful than you know. But I'm telling you now, so you better recognize. In addition to that, you're able to have direct connection to source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about one-on-one FaceTime. Oh, I got God on FaceTime. Well, I'm talking about that. It's at that level. So that's what goes on in 9. 9, you're able to communicate. But you think about it. How would you explain the Real Housewives of Atlanta to an ant? How would you explain to an ant what a movie is? You just can't. You wouldn't even want to engage in that. And that's what it's like for a lot of beings who are enlightened at that next level and engaging with humans. But when you're able to kick off your 9th, yeah, you're able to have a higher level conversation. Now, the 10th, universal. This is connected to the emotional body, color pearl white. So this is the universal aspects of beings. And how you know this is activated, because we may have some people on this at that 10th level. So if you're at that 10th level, connection with divine light beings in the universe and oneness of your divine light body with your physical being. So that means you have the ability to poof, be here, poof, be gone, right in front of people's eyes. Like you're that connected. And 11, galactic. That's connected to the mental body and the color, pink orange. And it stands for divine knowledge and cosmic wisdom. You're like dialed in to spiritual Google, which is, by the way, my nickname for Mary. But you just plugged it. It looks like a whole bunch of Marys running around. That the answer to everything is at your fingertips. It just flows through. So activation allows you to have advanced spiritual skills, travel beyond the limits of transportation, teleportation, instant manifestation. And it's like, for those of you who manifest, it's kind of like the law of attraction for the beginners. Like if you think about something hard enough, you'll get it, right? Well, there's 2 ways to manifest. You can manifest out of matter, and you can manifest out of spirit. Most who manifest are manifesting out of matter. But when you begin to manifest out of spirit, it becomes instant. I want it to rain. Boom. It starts raining. Okay. I need water. Boom. I got it. I want to turn water into wine. I want to do this or that. Hopefully, not for a trick, but to make life better for people out of compassion. Then it happens. Okay. So when you get to this level, there's communication with the highest vibration of known beings, the highest. So not just Aunt Susie who passed away, but you're speaking with people who are in charge of the galaxy and trying to mold and shape planets and species. So when you're at that level, you're talking to ascended masters and the great brotherhood of light. Again, increasing your capacity for light. And all of this allows you to bring healing from the highest realms into your present life. Bringing balance to the earth and higher realms of spirit. This is all at 11. And 12, divine gateway, that's the Merkabah. The Merkabah, which is, to give you an image, it's like 2 triangles. I think it's the Star of David, it looks like. It's 2 triangles. One is facing down and one is facing up. The top one is normally attributed to masculine, the bottom one to feminine. And when it's activated, it's spinning around in opposite directions. And that, ladies and gentlemen, dun, 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 is a black hole. A black hole. so that when you're meditating and your 12th chakra is kicked in, you really just made a black hole that allows you to transport through there to everywhere, anywhere, any when too as well. So I'm sure you can imagine that type of power you don't want in the hands of somebody who still don't like black people or still think women are inferior to men. They're working on those lower chakras versus the higher ones. But the light workers, the light workers are able to truly take this to another level. Oh, it's 11:11 right now. I was checking the time to see how much more time I had left. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just dive in a little bit deeper on the soul star chakra around there. Okay. So, and if you have any questions, please throw them in the chat. Even if it's something that you don't quite understand and you're going to want me to recap it, we'll see how much time we have left. Just remember that, these classes give us an introduction into new stuff. We have courses where we go deeper and longer and weeks into stuff. And also workshops and the certifications so you can apply this stuff. Like I'm going to give you an exercise that you should really work on 2 weeks. I've been working on it for 1 week now. Tomorrow will be a full 7 days. So here we go. We could all do with a little bit more of divine light in the world, right? I mean, so much stuff going on. That's why we're doing this global meditation next week. So when life runs us over and all we need is a little restoration, a little peace in our minds. That's why all of this is so important. The ability to connect to a higher power in order to rejuvenate ourselves. If you're sad, then we need to connect you to the light. And if you're happy, we need you to spread your light. So it's like spiritual volunteering. So fortunately, our etheric body is equipped to do so. So if you ever meditated deeply enough, you may have seen flashes of images. You're like, what is that? Well, it probably was a past life through your closed eyes as you sit down and you're meditating because you're connected to your soul. So these flashes may have been accidental on your part, but they weren't so accidental, not for your soul. And this is because during those times, your soul was busy connecting with the divine energy through the soul star chakra. That's right. So there is this other chakra present in your etheric body that guides the divine light in reaching the deepest parts of your soul. That's what a soul star is. In the Bible, Jesus mentioned man does not live by bread alone. But so what else is it? Well, it's this. It's connected to the divine source. It allows us to take in more light. So this chakra is a transpersonal chakra, which means that it's located outside our physical body above the head. So what's the soul chakra all about? Does it truly connect you to divine consciousness? And how do you get the benefits out of this chakra? I'm going to talk about all of that in 3 minutes. And then I'm going to show you the exercise. So the soul chakra, right? It's also called, Sanskrit's name of soul chakra is Sutara, which means holy star. And it represents the sacred essence of the etheric energies that exist outside of the traditional chakra system that Western society knows about, that you see on people's t-shirts and they're like, oh, you just getting on my last chakra. But there's a deeper level to all of this. And the soul chakra is the primary channel by which the purest divine energy flows until it reaches the rest of the seven chakra system. All right. So it's like it's literally spiritual food that's coming down through your etheric body, because we're more than our physical selves, spreading to the chakra, keeping it healthy, allowing you to take on a greater capacity of light. And like I said, it's normally 6 to 12 inches above your head. Okay. So if the crown chakra represents your crown, the soul chakra, that's your halo, a luminous circle of divine light above your head. It's an angelic talisman, a divine being, a heavenly light that provides your soul with nothing but pure nourishment and infinite love. Infinite love. Someone described Yeshua as being able to pray. And when Yeshua prayed, that the aura that came from him was so bright that it literally radiated up and down. And the disciples would get in a circle around him just to feel that aura and blessings falling down on them. Okay. So this particular chakra has a lot of important roles. It connects you with your higher self. It allows you to access the Akashic records. It enables you to learn about your karmic cycles and past lives. Bhavana and I were talking earlier this week about cycles. All of us have spiritual cycles. Mine is 2 years. Just like you have cycles in school, first semester, second semester, cycles in the year, cycles in the season, even cycles in business. If you're going on a quarterly basis, well, your spirit has cycles too. So this allows you to know when it is, and even to tell other people. So it holds your soul contracts from all incarnations, all your past lives. It's your communication portal to messages from angels and the ascended masters that are trying to guide you. You see 111, 222, 333, 444. We saw 111 as I was going through this now. Well, when you light this chakra up, you're able to have even further and direct communication. So that's all the benefits from that. There's a ton more stuff too I can tell you about this one. But because of time, I'm going to go forward and show you this. When we get into our courses and the certifications, it's more than just 7 chakras. You're like, oh, I'm done with spiritual school. I got these 7 on the. There's more. Yes, there's more. So we're third dimensional beings. Really, if you want to be technical for the highly advanced spiritual people, we are fifth dimensional beings that are living out in the third dimension, right? Children of the fifth dimensional beings, trying to get things right. But if you truly want to be able to flow in and out of the fifth dimension, then not only do you have to master these 7, but you need to master these. And then even before that can happen, you have these. So it's a pathway. It's definitely a pathway. So what I'm going to do now is, for those of you that got the handout, this is the exercise portion of it. And I'm going to show you how to do this. And I'm going to make all of you look bigger to me so I can see you. So this is a physical exercise. So first, let me describe to you what you see here. Okay. This is a fully activated crown, your 7th chakra. When your 7th chakra is healthy and vibrant and live and activated, you see those people whose face just seem to glow. And some people who have the right spiritual capabilities can even see that aura coming from them. This is what it looks like if you're facing them. That's how big it is, okay? Now, when I look at most people, I see this right here on the right. It's little. It is not coming off of the head at all. This is front face. It's non-activated. Okay? It's not connected to source at the level that it could be. Some people think, oh, this must be it, until they really get it. And they're like, oh, this is my first one. So this is a fully activated crown. And I'm going to teach you right now how to do that. Because when you activate your crown and do this exercise for the next 2 weeks, your crown will be activated for the rest of this life. Now, you can always go back through this exercise again if you want to, in order to get to know your crown. But when you activate this crown, then that's going to lead to that halo effect. It's going to lead to opening up the 8th chakra and go into the next level. So this is what you do. There are going to be 3 things, and I'm going to walk you through one at a time. So you take your left hand, all right, and you're going to position your left hand on your forehead where it would be if you had like a unicorn or had horns, and you would put your left hand here. And as you see, it's like diagonal. And you take your right hand and you put it underneath here, as if there would be a straight line that went through in a diagonal standpoint. Now, what I want you to do is close your eyes and just tell yourself that you can see your pineal gland, which is circle right in the middle of your overall head. And imagine that you can see it. And then you want to tell yourself that there is a ray of light that goes from that central spot directly through your first hand, your left hand, about that far. Whatever your intuition tells you is how far that line should go. So you think about your pineal gland, you imagine that you see it, and it's normally reddish in color too, by the way, if you happen to see something really. But if not, don't worry about it. Just tell yourself that it's there and that you see it. And then imagine from that center point that a beam of light goes from there through your hand through the upper part of your forehead. And set the intention that the beam of light stays connected to your pineal gland. All right. Now what you want to do is focus again on your pineal gland. And now imagine that a ray of light goes backwards, okay, through your right hand out your body to whatever length your intuition tells you is comfortable. So now you have something going through your front and something going through your back. And you're going to keep it that way, okay, for 1 minute, trying to keep that connection there and setting the intention. And if it becomes tougher for you to keep that connection, then just imagine that you are on the side of your head looking at it. Okay. Now, somebody's off mute. Shubham, I'm going to mute you. Okay. Now what you do is after that, take your left hand and look back at the screen, still setting the intention that the light beams are still there. They're going to stay. And your left hand, you put on your left ear. And your right hand, you put on your right ear. And again, you see the pineal gland in the center of your forehead. And you imagine that a light leaves your pineal gland, going to your left, through your hand, out to where your intuition tells you it should stop. And then you set the intention that it's going to stay. Stay connected. And then have your pineal gland from there, a light beam go through your right hand, shooting through. And you set the attention 1 minute and you hold it there. So now you have one, like where that unicorn or horns would be coming up that way. That's still there. Now you have a second light beam that's coming out. And you keep that there and you hold it. Hold that intention. And then we're going to go to the third one. And the third one will be right where your third eye is. And you put your hand, left hand on your forehead where the third eye would be. And then your right hand, you're putting it directly behind it, not at an angle like you did the first time. Still connecting all the light beams together. Focusing on your pineal gland and send it to your left hand first. See that beam of light come through. And then send it to the back, to your right hand. And hold that for a minute. And the fourth beam of light will automatically come into play. You don't need to make that happen, that connection to source. So now you would have 4 beams of light. And you keep that there for a minute. And then you stop. And you do that exercise once every day for 2 weeks. Okay. What's going to happen is some things from your past may come up that you need to let go and forgive. The last 2 days, I had a dream about these friends of mine in the past that are no longer am I close with, that I still was harboring some resentment towards, that I end up having to clear out and let go. People will call you that you haven't spoken to in a while. So that's all just natural, okay? Because you're opening up that crown chakra. You're activating it for the first time. And you're letting that inner light glow. And people will see the difference. You will feel the difference, just happier. So something you have to do for 2 weeks and keep it going. Okay. Now, that was the exercise I wanted to show you. And it brings us to the end. Just want to remind everyone about, if you haven't done it yet, go to willpowerlightworker.com. I really love the effects because it moves. It doesn't move on here, but when you go to the website or you check it out on your phone, you see what I'm talking about. It just pulls you in. I love it. So once you get there, join us. Put down that you will meditate next week, next Sunday. And because you subscribe with us, you'll get information on the YouTube place where we have a guided meditation that you have. We'll be able to email you the meditation too, if you want to download it and have it on your phone, because you don't have to do it when everybody else does. You can choose your own time. We call it Power Hour. Okay. And tell somebody about it, because we're going to be doing it every month. The first Sunday of the month, 1 hour can change the world. And I think that's my last slide. Yep, one more. So if anybody wants to volunteer, we have a creativity crew as well as marvelous marketers. So one person makes up posts and the other people pushes the message out. So we're starting to connect with other meditation groups, with people who want to learn how to meditate. So moving forward, every other week, I will be doing classes on Sundays, teaching people how to meditate too, how to have your mind clear, how to set the intention ahead of time, how to get through like the itching that sometimes comes or the fidgeting that you may have. So with that, I'm going to stop because I said I was going to be Johnny on the spot on time, and it's 11:31. So I guess I'll take one comment and one question. Parvin, I'll see if you have any comments because I haven't seen you in a while. So I would love to hear your voice.
Oh, I just want to say it was wonderful. As always, you did great job. A lot of information. I loved it. Thank you. And another thing is never limit to information. No matter what you think you know, there is always more to learn.
Thank you. Thank you, Parvin. We're so happy to see you again today. And I guess, Julianne, I saw your comment real quick. Okay, so Kevin, I saw one of your questions. It was funny. It just popped out. Why am I manifesting so much bad BS? That's the second time I had to answer that question this week. What I'm going to say is sometimes it's really three reasons. One can be karmic, but not in the sense of you being punished, but cause and effect. If you're asking for more abilities, that means you have to gain more virtues. And the only way to gain virtues is to go through the BS. That's like cause and effect. So if you say, I want to be able to heal people, well, okay, somebody's gonna have to get sick, or you have to run into somebody sick in order to do that. Or if you say, I want to be able to manifest a lot of money, well, you may have some taken away from you, so that emotion that comes is able to be kept in place, and you still are able to carve it out. So on Fridays, I have spots where I do free coaching, and we can drill down further on it, Kevin, to figure out why. Because normally you just need somebody else standing outside to pinpoint the reason for the challenge, because every single one we can turn around for the better. My little brother and one of the founders in my company struggled from having COVID and being in a hospital and sad and talking to me. And together we identified the beautiful things that could come out of him being in such a horrible experience. And he started showing love to the people who were taking care of him. And they're like, why are you giving me a compliment? You're the one that's ill. We should be loving up on you. And now, okay, he's recovered from COVID and making a comeback. So every bad situation, we have a choice of either to focus on the pain or look for the benefit. So with that, I want to thank everybody for being here. If you are interested in having a coaching session with me one Friday, because I cut that off, so there's no business for me on Fridays. There's just what I will call spiritual work, where I'm helping people for free. Just reach out to Vanita or any of the messages that you get and asking her for the link for scheduling a meeting with me. Or Kesia, Vanita, if you have it, you can put it in the chat now for people to get, and we can probably put it on YouTube as well. So with that, I hope that everybody has a fantastic Sunday, and thank you so much for dialing in. And please, let's hop on the Power Hour next Sunday and light up the world. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
My pleasure.